Welcome back to the Emergency Power Podcast. You've made it through another week, so go ahead and sit on.
What's happening?
Welcome back to the Emergency Power Podcast. You've made it through. Hey, what are you doing? Don't you want to sit down? Wait. You're calling the lottery and winning? This is incredible. What? No, I haven't spoken to my mother in years. She's not going to call me. Oh, wait, she is. What's happening?
What is happening?
I am so confused.
Are we like rewind? I think we've gone into another timeline where Adam is insane.
No. Just back in time.
Prime timeline.
Gotta go back in time.
The prime timeline. Yes,
Your intros
in case
leave me
you didn't
speechless,
catch
but
on,
here we are.
time rewound, and then you guys all knew the answers to the lottery. And
Yes.
if his mother was going to call.
that.
I don't have time to put in numbers for the lottery because I need to know what happens to Brandon.
Right?
The best jokes are the ones that have to be explained.
No.
Absolutely. This was a banger of an intro, and I'm going to do the rest of them just like this.
Start with the punchline, and then, take your time to explain why that was funny immediately afterwards.
That's the joke.
Pretty sure I've made that clear. That's how my jokes work in this podcast. But yes, you guys have been left on a cliffhanger for the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
How's everyone's sleep going?
What's that?
Poor, but not for those reasons.
How many of us are on the ground now? 3?
Bon slept for a while, so he's doing fine.
Oh, yeah, it's fair. Got a nap in. Scripted, too.
We've got 3 people on the
Mid-combat
ground.
nap.
Para's almost dead.
Having a good time.
5E's almost dead.
Uh-huh.
Soul is doing
been worse.
all right.
Third.
Yeah,
No,
Not great.
Yeah.
I've been worse.
I have the power of nanites on my side.
those nanites are so good. I love
Power
them.
of God and nanites.
They're
on
great.
My side.
I want nanites.
Well, sadly,
golden
Brandon
nanites.
does not have the power of God and nanites.
They're working
So
against
why
him.
don't we go ahead and find out what happened?
That's...
In the wake of terrible violence, burned, beaten, broken, Brandon Masters pulls free the grenade of its pin. With all his might, aiming to destroy the vile beast who sent to ruin his fortune and his father. A man who takes decisive action and never looks back. Not everyone knows the tales of this man and his acts, but soon they will, as we tell my story in the Tomes of Emergency Power, Volume 3, Chapter 10.
I just want you to know that if Brandon dies, every time I do an engineering check, I will jiggle it.
That's all I could ever hope for.
In Brandon's honor.
A solemn jiggle.
Okay. Tink! The tiefling turns his gaze from Soul, hands still bloody from the crushing blows, and looks down at Brandon, splayed on the floor. He sees the grenade in Brandon's hand, and a furrow crosses his brow. Then, a broad, natural, and infuriatingly charming smile sweeps across his face. Run along, little masters. Without turning to face you, out from under his now tattered suit whips a tail strong and lithe, with a wicked barb at its point, and it plunges down towards Brandon like a spear.
What?
Brandon Masters, by the rules of Starfinder, because you are prone, melee attacks have an additional +4 against you.
Yep.
Oh no.
With that and the attack bonus that the Tiefling has versus armor class, it is numerically impossible for them to miss, save on a 1.
You gotta risk it
No
for the
resolve
biscuit.
left. If this hits, your time in this life is over.
No.
This
If you die in the game, you die in real
is
life.
about rolling the dice. So let's roll those dice.
Yeah.
You got it.
May the biscuits be with you, sir.
American style.
Bourbons.
And ever sausage, egg, and cheese.
What? No, but the bourbons and custard creams. Nice
The
digestive.
die has landed on a 10. The face
There's a 1 in that.
and the biscuits do not stand with you.
Make him
on this
reroll.
day.
No.
It was a popsicle.
Anyone?
How many? I don't have any.
Popsicle.
No, someone has
use
I
popsicle.
don't have any.
Yeah, we used them all.
Okay, well, the good thing is I still get to do my attack.
As we
Right?
talked about, you pulled the pin on that grenade, so no
true.
matter what, it's gonna happen.
Okay.
The tiefling's tail drives down and it beds itself through Brandon's back, bypassing the armor, slicing open his heart, piercing a lung, and embedding into the floor below.
Oh no.
Brandon's arm comes to a shuddering halt in its throwing arc. It falls to the floor as his breath turns to a gargling of blood.
Through that gargling of blood and coughing, if you look close enough, you see a smirk come across his face, as if one last look of defiance against this monster.
And as he does, the grenade rolls free from his hand and stops with a tap at the tiefling's shoe. An explosion rips through the center of the room. This time, no one rushes in to save you. This time, the world does not slow to a crawl. This time cannot be rewritten.
Holy crap.
Brandon
Yikes.
and the tiefling at the epicenter of the explosion cascade backwards. Para and 5e, you are within the blast radius of this grenade, as is this thing you call a hellhound. Go ahead and give me reflex saves.
What a way to go for our first character death.
No, I don't believe. No.
That's a hell of a heroic sacrifice. I'm so sad that this character's not
So
around.
the tiefling brought Brandon to 0, and then the grenade is going to go off and deal damage, and that will cost him a resolve point he doesn't have. So he's immediately gone.
Yeah, we lost him.
And we still have 2 characters. Inner 5e is at 2 HP and Par is at 7.
Oh my god! I could kill
Counterpoint. No.
Yeah, we just started
I'm taking
worshiping
you
this
with
new
me.
god of time, Adam. Can I, spend my turn to start praying?
As a free action, I will let you start praying. That's acceptable.
Oh God, Para Daddy, please bring back my friend Brandon.
I am not okay with that.
All right, what are the results you guys have?
It's awkward as you call him Parla Daddy. I do not agree.
I don't know his name.
Oh my
I got a 24.
24.
5e pulls a 21.
All right.
Okay, 5e takes no damage from this. Para takes
Yeah, Bayesian.
All right, that's going to be a 2 damage to you then, Para.
Oh, love it. I mean, I don't love it.
And
You killed almost
4
enough to take him
damage
to
to the tiefling.
Yeah.
4
This
damage to
tiefling-
the tiefling.
The only reason he's down is because he had 1 health. This grenade did 4 damage.
Yikes.
You know what? No, 1 health or mini health, he did the job. And that's,
Yeah, that's
Got the job done.
He
did it.
That's it.
The only hit point that counts is the last one.
You're right.
This is true.
You are absolutely
Wait, what did
right.
you say? Non-lethal?
Wait,
Okay.
you just take all the XP and then die.
Yes, no.
He did. He just KS'd and then suicided.
No!
Yes.
The bestial form of the twisted creature slashing at Para drives both its hands forward for a killing blow when a jagged piece of shrapnel pierces through its brain. It falls forward and slams on top of Para.
Yikes. We were that close with that one, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dropped 2 of them
The
in 1 grenade.
tiefling staggers back, nearly stepping on Soul as he
Excuse me?
falls hard into the piano, crushing it beneath his weight as a cacophony of snapping cables rings through the air.
I'm looking forward to that, folks.
I was gonna play that.
What a waste of a cannon.
Myrani, drawing back for another one of these berserking blows, suddenly staggers to one side.
Oh, good.
The orange hue fading from their eyes.
Oh, thank God.
The wild energy sword bursts in their hand. They look around at their quivering hands and let out this horrible screeching sob before they collapse to the ground. As the smoke clears, with arms draped casually, body sprawled out in a seductive pose, Brandon Masters lays, having been thrown upon the last remaining fainting couch.
Yes.
OMGs.
Perfect.
He went out as he would want to.
I gotta give it to you, Mark. At least your character died with style.
Yes.
Thank you for saving the day for all of us.
That was the most epic way that you could have died.
Is that like a bear rug under him? Pretty sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Adam, do those developments effectively bring us out of initiative?
They do indeed.
All right.
You can all see that the life is beginning to leave Brandon, but he's got a little fight left within him before he fades away forever. If you have something to say, now is the time.
Did we win?
Masters, hold on. Keep him awake. We can give you emergency medical treatment.
I don't think there's a stitch big enough to fix this. And he points to the gaping hole in his chest.
Your tie is ruined, I'm afraid.
He begins looking around at each one of you. Wait, Pons is still unconscious, right?
So is Scriff.
And so is Scriff. Okay.
If I recall correctly, Pons is up.
I believe I just got back up.
Okay.
Yes, Pons is up. So.
Okay. Scriff is unconscious.
It's okay. It's gonna be all right. He summons what little strength he has left. He goes and reaches up and he pulls at Pons by his collar and says, "You're the only one whose fashion sense I respect. Keep shining on all of them." From there, he looks over to 5e. 5e, I hope you are able to reconcile with Myrani after all of this. You are truly one of the most fascinating critters I've ever met. From there, he looks over to Para. Para, I hope you can get the answers to the questions that you have. He looks over to Soul. You were always a bastard, but I would not change a minute of our time together. Some of the best times of my life. Scriff, where's Scriff? Where's Scriff?
Masters, you have fought well. You will always be remembered among us. I will see to it. I am so sorry.
Just tell Scriff that I told his siblings. Tell them that I said, what's
Rest now.
Brandon, as the light begins to dim for the final time, it's not your life that passes before your eyes. It's the faces of the people that you met along the way. The friends, the lovers, the rivals, the family, the people you struck up a conversation with in the bar. All of the worry and anger fades away until all that's left is the summary of lives that you have changed. An accomplishment worthy of great pride. There is no question that there is expansive life in this universe. There is no question that precious few of those lives were lived as fully as Brandon Masters. A life worthy of presenting before Abadar at the door of the first vault. With
Hear,
eyes
hear.
closed, a sly smile crosses the face of the sharp-dressed man. His final thoughts drifting to that one time on a backwater planet where all communication was done physically. As Brandon Masters slips away, the room is left with an eerie quiet, save Myrani's quiet whimpering.
All right, I'll see you guys at the next session. Bye-bye.
Yeah, get out of here, Mark.
No, Mark.
No.
I said, you die in the game, you die in real life.
Oh, God. What's
Jeff's
this coming up
coming
behind
for
me? Oh, no.
I was told this was
Goodbye,
accidental
Mark.
death.
Yeah.
Adam, does Mirani appear to pose a threat to us at this point?
As far as you can tell, no. They're looking
All right.
down and shuddering.
Then 5e has some business to tend to. I want to do a monologue and basically execute this guy. but I don't want to shut Scriff out of that if he's got words to say too.
Okay, so then you're gonna have to get this unconscious boy back up.
I have a potion. From
Okay. 5e moves adjacent to Scriff, looks over at Pons and says, "Do you have any curatives?"
I think I have a couple left that Soul gave me. Here, take this one.
"Give me one."
Yeah, I'll drop one over to 5e.
I'll administer that to Scriff.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Scriff regains 8 hit points with a maximum
Wow.
die roll.
Wow, okay.
Nice.
Scriff coughs up a lung as he gets up. Did we win?
The target has been neutralized, but not completely. I am about to see to that business.
Good. I want to watch.
As they sort that out, Soul is rushing over to Myrani and just not putting hands on his shoulders, but if he will allow it, take his arms and just let him pull him into a hug if it will be allowed. Just give him some comfort as he's dealing with whatever
Absolutely.
he's dealing with.
I think Paul takes some time to just fix Brandon's outfit so he looks less exploded. Just quietly in the
That's
corner.
how he'd want it.
Yeah, make him look as good as he can with mending.
Much appreciated.
As it should be.
Does he get the tie wrong? Probably.
What is fashion sense to an interdimensional time creature?
The tie definitely had stripes. It's fine.
5e crosses the short expanse of the room between him and the downed tiefling, an enemy whose name he never knew, and he trains one of his pistols on the nearly unconscious form laying in the piano and says, "My programming dictates that should I capture a hostile target alive in the course of executing my operative subroutines, I am to relinquish them to the local sector authorities for arraignment. However, my heuristic databanks indicate that individuals such as yourself have a predilection for evading prosecution and incarceration through both legal and extra-legal means. Ironically, your tampering with my memory core some years ago means I am no longer bound to comply with my programming, and may instead choose to terminate you forthwith for the murders of Lacinth and Olivier Kerdan, and of Brandon Masters." And 5e unloads his clip into the tiefling's head.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Oh my god.
Cold.
Popsicle?
Damn.
He drops the pistol to his side, stands at full reset, and says, "Target eliminated. Protective subroutines re-engaged," and crosses back across the room to Myrani.
That was so metal.
That was cool, man. That was real cool. That was real cool, dude.
Well done.
You know what? Yes, I will give a popsicle for that. That was badass.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. Woohoo!
And crouching next to Myrani, seeing that Soul is comforting him, says, "I am sorry for all of the torment that you have been through. I promise you I will do everything in my power to undo what that thing did to you."
Their eyes fall upon you, and you can tell they try to say something, but it just kind of comes out as this strange screeching sound. Since both you and Soul are right up next to them, why don't you guys go ahead and give me either perception or mysticism?
It's Mirani is still in the current form, or the form that.
Beast
Correct.
mode, yeah.
Okay.
Beast mode.
Myrani is still going beast mode.
Perception is going to be a 20 for 5e.
And a 20 for Soul.
So as they're quietly sobbing with their eyes affixed on 5e, 3 lines of tears streaming down their face, you notice that on their body, these glowing runes appear, and then they fade almost into a tattoo, and they're just all across their body. With the mysticism check, you can tell that these are runes that can be activated multiple times. So it seems like if you run energy through it, you could potentially cause some sort of shift. You don't know if in this form that means it would change them back or if it would do something worse, but you know it would apply a change to them.
So you're saying this isn't even his final form?
God. Pawns don't touch the runes.
It might not be.
He's too busy with the fireplace still, I'm sure.
Something shiny button.
I'm going to look at 5e. Let you take the lead on this. We'll protect E.
I do not understand the nature of his condition.
You want me to take a look at him?
By all means.
And just to clarify, this doesn't feel like what I went through when I got my modes. This feels very different, yes?
That's not what you recall.
Just a 20 total.
Also a 20.
You're just not rolling above the 20.
Yeah, you're getting essentially the same information.
Yeah.
You just know if you run energy through it, something's going to happen.
It's kind of like a battery pack. I'm not really sure, though, what would happen if we charge him.
I'm going to look at my Ronnie, and I know they're in this form, but it looks like if we run energy, something will happen. Do you want us to do that, or do we wait this out?
Ooh.
Is this something that needs to be done immediately? It might be better to get him to a proper med bay, and there are still targets that must be rescued here.
Yeah, my Ronnie looks over at you, Soul. Hands are still shaking, and they just slowly nod their head. You can tell they're in a large amount of pain right now.
I'm going to look at 5e. I'm going to activate my force field, and I'm going to non-lethally slap him.
Oh, okay.
Wait, slap 5e?
Okay.
No, slap my Ronnie.
No, all right.
Oh,
I have an energy field. I'm going to run energy through him.
I was going to slap 5e. Why? What?
It is
Hold it
long
together,
overdue.
5e.
It's so mean.
5e just antagonizing
I'm
everybody.
only mean to Brandon. Thank you. I guess I do need a new target now.
So you reach over, give him a little smack, and the energy from your shield stretches out through my Ronnie. Fortunately, as far as you could tell by what was happening before, energy has already run through them, so it doesn't seem like it does any additional damage. And you see these runes glow with this blue electric field. And then you hear the snapping of bones from inside my Ronnie as their arms begin to shrink. And as their limbs begin to return back to what they were before, the face begins to close up at the mouths. And while it doesn't entirely heal over, it leaves some scars where the mouth had ripped open. But after about 10 or so seconds, you see my Ronnie very nearly as they were before, laying on the ground. Their suit had been completely shredded off, so they lay naked on the floor.
All right. I'm going to administer another serum of healing to my Ronnie and then just swaddle him in a blanket off of the bed nearby.
Okay.
He's,
go ahead and roll that.
Unconscious, yes.
Yeah, through all of what's happened, by the end of this, they're unconscious.
So, okay. I just want to make sure his condition is stable, and I think 5e would administer one, but actually I am out because the weird inventory
Hans dropped
bug
one.
with serums. Thank you.
Yeah, you can pick another one up.
But yeah, I think it would be a good idea to see if that will undo some of the damage that transformation did to him.
I am so glad I had those healing serums.
I am too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One other thing I will say, because he was naked, is the tattoos are still there.
All right. My Ronnie gets 3 hit points back. And 5e says,
Strange. The visual vestiges of this condition remain. I believe it is going to take a lot of work to restore his former condition.
I think it is going to take more work than you realize, friend. Not all scars are physical.
Understood. Psychological counseling will be required.
Pons would like to make his way over to Scriff as well.
Yeah, about this time, you hear a series of gunshots from Scriff as he fires into the tiefling's lifeless corpse.
Oof.
Avoid the chest. Don't.
Bang. That's for Nima. Bang. That's for Twistage.
He's gonna have to reload before he gets to the end.
And he does, firing all the way through, saying the names of every single one of his siblings. That's for Teb. That's for Glitch. That's for Tank.
Script, I think we got him already.
That's for Beta.
No.
That's for
Really?
Dust.
He's dead.
That's for Click.
It's not
Oh,
about
God.
killing him, friend.
That's for Feather.
Bonds, let him have this.
And this.
Well,
This one's for me. Boom. Fires one last shot into his head.
there was possibly more of your family, Scriff, through a passageway on the north side of this building. But it went when I tried to open it, so I could use someone's help here. And I kind of make my way back over to the fireplace and gesture to the button that made me go explodey.
Can I pick up Brandon's body? I don't want to leave it here.
I was going to cover it, but
Yeah. Okay. Para also comes over. They're holding Brandon's body. They've repaired what they can of his suit, and they've swallowed the rest of him in to hide the more damaged parts. And they're carrying him as they come along and go, "It is good to have released some tension. He was a shit.
Yes. He was a shit.
So where now?"
We must secure the rest of the hostages.
I'm going to go over to the siblings that are in this room. Beta, Dust, and Click, right?
They're under the
Oh,
bed.
under the bed, yeah.
Yes.
I'm going
Yeah,
to.
been pushed under the bed.
I'm going to look under the bed and say, "It's all right. You can come out now."
Sol is going to just knock on the bed frame. Friends, all here now. It's fine. And grab a blanket off the bed and bring it over to Hara so we can wrap Brandon.
Sure. From under the sheet that's hanging over the bed, you see two little Yosoki noses poke out, and they look around the room.
Aw.
And then you see them crawl out from under there, and they pull Beta along with them.
Are you all right? How are you feeling?
Well, we're not dead, so that's
Yeah.
something.
Look, I'm sorry I got you involved in all this, but I'm glad you're safe.
How's everyone else?
They're alive, at least the ones we've seen. We haven't found Twisich or Feather.
I think it would be best if your siblings and Myrani remain here. This is a relatively secure area. I would assume that the death of the tiefling means that the house security will no longer be interfering. And I look over at the hologram on the other side of the room. Am I correct in that assumption?
I have been given no orders to do anything else beyond this point. I will wait for the master's instructions.
Then I expect that situation is resolved, at least until I have the time to uninstall you.
Oh,
Damn.
Red eyebrows all day for 5e right now.
I look at Para and go, I've never liked that hologram.
The angriest of eyebrows.
I can
This is why.
I'm going to move
right.
a little bit closer to the fireplace.
Could someone help me with this? Maybe with some longer arms? Oh, wait a second. I
as you
scoot
move
back.
to that side, the hologram appears over next to you in case you ever need any assistance from them. They happen to be there.
And I'll actually reach for the switch again, but this time with psychokinetic hand.
Okay.
I'm gonna step back. Actually, 5e, I don't know if you want to be that close. You saw what happened last time.
Acknowledged.
Are the runes still there? Can you see them still?
My Oculus sensors are still recharging from the last use of that particular aspect of my programming. I'm afraid I can't discern any detail.
Okay, well, I scoot kind of one more step back, and then I reach out with the hand.
You stand behind him?
Yeah.
I'm also gonna send the three Yusuki that are with us back to the ship. Just direct them to head out to the
Okay.
field and go meet with the other siblings that we've rescued.
Okay. They will do so. You reach out with this psychokinetic hand, and you reach up into the chimney, and you hit the switch, and you reel back waiting for the explosion that never comes.
Oh, thank God.
Because it seems like these runes were a one and done kind of deal.
Right.
Wait, that whole switch was just the runes? And I kind of run up to the door and start banging on it. Why won't you open?
And then you activate the secondary runes and explode it.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh god.
With hitting that switch, you notice that the fireplace has begun to move a little bit away from the wall, swinging out. And after about half a foot, it stops moving, and you hear like this grinding sound, like maybe the explosion damaged it or something. If people want to get in there and help with strength checks, you could try to pry that thing open.
I'll take point on that.
I kind of gesture to everyone else to try to help pry this thing open.
Is it too grim to say that I asked the kids to take Brandon's body back to the ship? Or is that too grim?
It's up to you what you do.
I'll put Brandon on the bed for now.
Okay, anyone who's helping pull this thing open, go ahead, give me strength check, decide who's going to lead and who's assisting.
I'm staying over by this body for now.
Okay. I have a strength of 16, so I'm guessing I'm probably the highest of the group, unless there's
I
someone
also have
else
a
who's
16
more.
when I'm in the power armor.
I got
Okay.
a 6. I just rolled a 16.
8.
16s all around.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
I meant-
who's leading
I
before
meant
rolls
my-
start happening?
I meant my score, not my roll. But
Yeah, you're actually strong.
okay,
not.
I'll be lead then.
Wow, I do not assist. That was a terrible roll.
I'll try to assist using my ability, but I'm not even going to get in the way, like, physically.
Okay.
I think Para at least gets high enough to give me an assist, so with his help, 5e gets an 18 on the strength check.
Hey, another 16. Woohoo.
Hey,
Yeah.
60's all around today.
So you grab onto the side of this fireplace and start pulling, and everyone seems to be trying to help, but not doing that great of a job for the most part, so it's just basically you doing the heavy lifting. But eventually you do pull this thing open big enough that people could fit through.
Finally, the fireplace
There you
is
go.
opening.
The fireplace mystery.
Your legacy is assured.
Yes.
Time to Scooby-Doo our way in here. Okay, you
Wait,
guys
we're going to pull that
jump
guy's
back
mask
in.
off?
Yeah,
Unlike the
if no one else wants to take point, I will happily take point.
Yeah, I think I would like to do a life science check on that tiefling, though, before we head out of here.
Should we take a 10-minute rest?
I kind of do think we should, because we eliminated the
Mark
main
makes
threat.
a good point. Like we don't go in here and then it's like another hellhound jumps out.
Yeah,
Let's take a 10-minute rest.
we're all really, really hurt.
Since
And
I don't
that
have
day's
the
time to
resolve,
check
it
on
doesn't
Ron
matter.
A little bit.
Before we take a rest, I want to roll this tiefling's body, looking for documents, his name, any schematic, like anything he's got on
Driver's
him.
license.
I want information.
Yeah, hopefully it didn't get
Soul did not
destroyed
go
after we just
Yeah, that's
shot
what
him
Soul said.
1,000
Please
times.
avoid the
Starbucks
check.
card, like whatever he's got. It's got his name on it.
Right, like Soul did not help with the fireplace because Soul is over here actively rooting through these pockets.
Oh, Blockbuster membership.
Oh no, it's from like 20 years ago.
This guy needs to clean out his wallet.
I have revealed a trunk of items.
A trunk of
Hey.
items. Oh my god.
Nice.
Oh, a North Face chamber. They're nice.
Oh,
That's futuristic bag of holding.
yes.
Oh, also, is there anything in the null space generator?
Oh, good point.
You open that thing up, and it does not appear to have anything contained inside at the moment.
Okay.
It's
It's Blockbuster. It's got Blockbuster.
Then it's got armor in it now.
It's got
His favorite anime.
yeah.
Does he have an ID on him?
Yeah, that's
No, you find no type of identification on this guy.
all right. So
This guy's a dick.
as I'm
You
going
know that he
through,
rents romantic comedies.
as I'm going through all of his pockets, all of it, I'm just searching and I'm finding nothing and I'm finding nothing, and it's like frustrating. And I lean down to where his ruined head is because he was shot in the head at least 3 times by my count. But lean
10.
in.
Yeah, definitely more than 3.
Well, shot in the torso, I assume, but the Jeff's final one was to the head.
Richard specified face.
Yeah.
And I lean down to where his ears would be and say very quietly, for his ears alone, and fuck you for contributing to our bad reputation. And just kick him in the ribs and storm off.
Yeah, now that all of his anatomy is exposed, Adam, can I do a life science check on him?
Sure.
All right, 23.
So, if you guys recall correctly, you had also done some checks on him during the last fight. And the result had been, aside from being abnormally more hulky and massive than tieflings, and being like a little bit odd somehow, they seem full tiefling.
Okay. Is there anything I can notice that some auras he had were coming from? Because I remember he had 2 auras
Those
at least.
would all be dispelled now because he's dead.
Yeah, everything's
Hopefully.
gone.
No, he only had
He doesn't even
the-
have the tattoo runes that Myrani has, nothing like that.
Okay.
Who wants to take the null space chamber? I was thinking someone who can't normally carry something heavy
Ooh,
would
I would
be
take it.
helpful. Yeah, like maybe pawns.
Uh-huh.
I like items.
All right, go for
What's
it.
the tiefling's
No.
name again?
We don't know.
Big Red. We just been calling him Big Red.
Yeah, remind me of the
Big Red
tiefling's
so
name,
far,
Adam.
right?
Yeah. I mean, Big Dead Red now, so...
I've been calling him Jemang because Jemang is belter for literally J-Man, which is slang for crooked dick.
Well, if it wasn't crooked before,
Fun facts.
all of this
Did we ever check that monitor?
Not yet.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to spend a couple minutes here since resting isn't going to do me any good. To just kind of poke around the books and the TV or the monitor there.
We are short resting, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so pawns, you head over to this, what looks like a personal computer. And you see that it has a login screen. So if you want to get in, you're going to need to give me a computers check or get the password from somewhere.
I've seen Scriff do this.
That's enough.
All right,
wanna
give it a
code
shot.
Typey.
I got an 8.
He just like Muppet types on the computer.
Yeah.
With the long, stringy, not fingers.
I just picture like Kermit. Yeah.
You type in first the
Yeah.
same thing an idiot puts on his luggage.
I tried Big Red. No, that's not gonna work.
Try big red exclamation point.
Big fur bed.
Try putting
42.
an exclamation point in place of the I.
Use numbers instead of vowels.
Moving statues.
E1G
Right,
R3.
none of this is working.
Crooked.
All right.
Can I go for an assist, actually, if Bones is doing that?
Yeah,
I don't
Pons
think
is
a
having
10's gonna
trouble,
make a difference, though.
yeah, you could come over and try yourself instead of assisting
Yeah.
if you want.
Yeah, I'd recommend that. I'm supposed to be over here right now,
Pons
by
is
the
going
way.
to have to
Oh,
step
okay, Bones
away.
leaves immediately, alright.
When they're done playing around, then I
Yeah.
will unlock it.
Playing around. Wow.
So,
When these idiots are done trying shit.
Soul is going to
Pons
just sit
got
themselves.
the computer locked out for 10 minutes, so you guys have to
we
wait
had to
until
take the
it's over.
rest. Soul is just going to sit their butt on the ground next to Myrani and just watch. Just like, all right, yes, this is happening.
If you've ever had the experience of having like to do homework on a computer and then one of your parents come over and just be like over your shoulder, this is exactly what that feels like right now, though. It's like, oh, hey, Scriff, yeah, I can't figure this out.
Is that computers?
Yeah.
This is 32.
That's a good roll.
All right, you see the password is 12345
Wow.
You were so close.
Power comes over and says, Pons, may I have a try?
Yeah, I'm gonna go look at some books.
Oh, alright.
Not even gonna see what's on the computer.
Okay, well, good talk, Pons.
He was just there to solve the puzzle. He didn't care what was inside.
What about butterflies?
Yeah, there might be some interesting books.
How to build your own gas log fireplace.
You might learn about those crazy growing
It is
fruits.
definitely my bag, baby.
Hang gliders, hang gliders. Where are those hang gliders?
So what you see on the computer is a couple things. First is subroutines that help control the help control the turret
the targets.
targeting system. I just retook it, Jeff.
They're both
Get them targets.
We just let Brandon die. We are not okay?
That's true. We should be very somber right now. Somber targets.
So as you look at this computer, you see it has multiple subroutines. One is for the targeting controls of the turrets. It seems they were activated from this computer. I don't even need that line, so you can cut that later, Jeff.
Nope, staying in.
The other thing
Yeah, I
is
like
you
that.
see some excerpts from a log. Like, it looks like a personal log. I'm not going to give you the whole thing. I'm going to give you snippets that kind of indicate the mindset of the person writing them, because I'm not going to write a million diaries for a teenager.
We can edit them in later.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can download them or something, and then we can just have a look at it now.
I'm going to have you, if you want to, read them to people.
My Ronnie's logs?
My Ronnie's logs.
Cool.
So you guys can decide if you want to read them out loud. It'd probably be good for an audio podcast.
Dear diary.
Yeah, these are sections pulled from different logs on different days, so it's only parts of what's going on.
I for consistency's sake, I think, Adam has the Marani voice.
But it's not a message, it's text.
Are you telling me that in the future they don't have video
This
journals?
computer is running Windows 95.
Windows ME.
Oh, no.
My Ronnie, hey.
Yeah, so Japan, how would you feel about reading some stuff aloud?
Sure, yeah, I love reading.
I'll read one. I'll volunteer for one.
I can read one as
Okay.
well.
All right. So you guys gather around the computer and start reading through some of these logs.
Watchtab's father associated individual bonds to each contract in faction, and then broke them according to each condition that was violated. The lesson being, this teaches the clients the cost of being late on a payment, failing to meet deadlines, failing to have respect, etc. When they have this understanding, business has fewer interruptions. It is cruel, but effective. Scriff, it seems that the child was forced to watch as our assailant did terrible things.
Yes, there's another one. Wait, here we go. My broken jaws are still healing, but it is a constant reminder of Father's endless drive for perfection. I won't fail him again. If I do, he may decide I don't have potential after all. What he does when he decides you are worthless is too horrible to go into. I understand why people call him the Grim Dervish, but they don't see his vision. That's as close of a name as we've gotten.
Soul storms in between the two. Just
So we have found. Oh, hello, Sol.
and left troops behind for the Infernex Corps branch while he was away on business. They've taken over the main hall and are trashing the place. They graded me when I ordered them to stop. Night I've recently heard screams and gunfire. I don't know. I don't go down there much anymore. I don't know if Father meant this as a test, but I'm scared of them. I'm so glad we killed this individual.
He has been slowly brainwashing the child.
More than brainwashing.
He's going to need our attention, and he's going to need our care. 5e, your charge is not up.
I quite agree, but I am concerned that my programming is insufficient for his needs at this point.
Yes, you're rather rigid. You're aware of that, yes?
It has been a long time since I have had to use any of my caretaker subroutines. I'm afraid those circuits are a little rusty. There has been much combat and conflict, and not nearly enough education and social outings.
Education and social outings are not what this child needs at this point. And you should stop thinking of him as a child. I'll warn you that right now.
How old was he when he was taken, Fabi?
Out of character, I don't know the answer to that. I think we determined there was something like 7 standard years since I've been here when Jeff did the
7
math.
years since you knew them.
Right.
But we also know that this species does not reach maturity as quickly as humans do.
Yeah, he's relatively a teen right now.
Oh, so he is a kid. Poor thing. But it's been how many years since?
7 since he's seen him.
So, sorry, what I mean is he was like a child, like a toddler when you left. Now he's a teen.
Yeah, be an older toddler, and then now I'm guessing into mid-teens by the way they scale. Sounds like
they mature at 25, so they would have been like a preteen.
Which is also why, like, Big Red would be able to. Oh, sorry, actually, the Grim Dervish will be able to brainwash him so easily and call him father and everything. I should put it in character, but yes.
Catch a kid during his most crucial formative years and twist him.
5e, I don't think this is a problem. Have you ever heard the phrase, "It takes a village"? With all that you have done to help me, I would be honored to help you reintegrate this child.
That assistance would be greatly appreciated. It is a pity that his parents have not survived to see him. They would be much better equipped to serve in that role. But in lieu of that, a surrogate family composed of this crew would be a welcome alternative.
What about the rest of you? Any objection to bringing Marani with us?
I have none. It would be wrong to leave them here. The things they have seen, I feel for them.
They're going to need good examples in their life. Something that they have lacked for many years.
Sol is going to look rather conflicted. And kind of look between the group and say, I understand that our agreement has, I assume, come to an end. And I've certainly not made any secrets about who and what I am. I'm not a good person. But this is something I'd quite like to make right, and I have a feeling that your young friend here have a bit more in common with my worldview than yours, 5e. It might be useful.
You're right, maybe our contract is terminated, but maybe we can start a new one.
I would say that you have gone above and beyond the call of duty in helping us in this task, and we still owe you and Para.
I would agree with that. I was hoping that you would stay on. Looks over and sees Brandon's body like covered by a sheet. I was actually hoping that both of you would stay beyond your contracted time. I've come to think of you both as friends.
Sol's head just slowly tilts to one side. Is this some kind of a con? I'm not associated with the monastery anymore. I can't tell you.
No con.
I don't know what you think you can get, but if it's a long con, I will figure it out.
Well, I hope to get your mutual respect and friendship. That's it, nothing more.
After analyzing the combat data from our last few encounters, I predict that we will have a much higher degree of success if you come along with us than if you did not.
Right, now that makes sense.
It is a true pity that we lost Masters as well. Our percentage rate of success would have been even higher with his assistance.
Aw, shucks.
He's alive! No, that was air being expelled from his lungs. It just
Exactly. Even his air has an accent.
Wait. His lungs?
Nice.
Wow. Oh no, the line was true love.
No, he's clearly said to blave.
I just got to the Princess Bride reference.
Welcome to the party, man.
Just hit me.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, Pon's. Yeah.
I'm not trying to get anything out of you that I wouldn't offer in return. Have you truly never had someone you could call friend?
darling, I'm sure you have an idea who I am and what I do. But don't like to keep people like myself, and it nods to Brandon, around terribly long. We tend to cause trouble.
Well, I haven't had many friends in my life. Usually I'm too involved in my work. But going through this ordeal, I can't imagine having to do it alone. I would appreciate it personally if you would stick around.
Agreed.
They still just kind of squint at the both of you. But something finally softens a little, and they nod.
If it makes it easier, we can consider this a business relationship. You will be equal partners in whatever spoils we come across in our travels.
Darling, if I wanted something, I'd take it, but we at least have a united front in this. And they motion towards first the corpse, and then Myroni.
Marani.
You know what? I wasn't going to say anything, but
And then Myroni.
You know what? Skirt's gonna turn to the kid and say, in honor of your new family, we're giving you a new name. Your name is now Myroni.
I'll also veto that.
He unconsciously lifts a middle finger.
Been through enough already.
So, Pawns, how about that fireplace?
Yeah,
huh?
Pawns is still at the fireplace.
What? No, he was at the books. He was checking out the
yeah, he
outside
went
hallways
to
around the gas log
to go make a
fireplace.
fireplace.
There are books next to the fireplace, so technical's the best kind of right.
And he's just been slowly moving across the room, picking up a book, putting it back down, moving closer to the fireplace.
Oh no, I'm gathering the books and moving closer to the fireplace.
Are you going to throw them in the fireplace?
Time to throw them in the fire.
These books suck.
I'll slowly poke the front part of my brain into that opening that we created and see if I can't sense or see, since I do have dark vision, any potential Yosoki or other creatures back behind this fireplace.
I will squeeze on through as well.
Just going to say, I did. You squish it back.
Whoa.
Yeah, Pons, you might want to, in case there's more danger, you might not want to take point on this.
Yeah. Okay. And I hide behind Scriff's armor.
I thought you were going to be like, and yeah, then I just plow ahead forward in front of everybody.
Nope.
Okay, are you the two going? Anyone else going? What's the...
I think it sounds like at least 4 of us are going in, but I'm in agreement with Scriff that he and Saul should probably take point since there are beaters.
I have both stamina and HP, so I'm happy to lead this way.
I've got stamina.
Same.
I took a beating.
Same.
Like, Soul's probably still bleeding from one nostril. It's like, business
Yeah,
arrangements.
if I get hit once, I'm dead.
Oh no.
So, Soul, seeing Pawns just recently come up, will be like, perhaps you should let me, and like wipes the bit of blood from their nostril, because they took a beating, but are still pretty good. Leave the moat up so there's light, and we'll glance back at Scriff, who's following, yes?
I'll go second.
I'll hide behind Scriff's armor.
I'll go behind Pawns.
All right. I'll step in, shedding 20 feet of dim light.
5e takes position next to Myroni by the bed and says, I will remain here to take charge of my ward, but I will be standing by if you need assistance. Call me if there are any complications.
Understood.
So we'll give a nod and step inside.
All right. New map, Adam.
I'm not going to move you to new map on this one. This one's going to be Theater of the Mind.
There's nothing behind the fireplace.
No! You open the fireplace, look in, and find Big Red's porn stash.
That tracks all
Yeah,
right.
we're going to sell that for some
let's
good
see.
money.
What kind of stuff is he into?
All right,
So
so
keys.
now what's actually behind?
Kindred spirit.
Tentacles everywhere.
I mean, he has a tail, so tentacles aren't out of the question, right?
A
Feels
dim...
weirdly racist.
God damn, guys.
Sorry. Wait a minute.
I've been trying to do this for the past 10 minutes.
I'm so sorry.
All right.
You guys are like cats.
You knew what you were getting into. This is what you
I
signed
love
up
it.
for.
I love it. Okay, but I am going to actually do this now.
Right.
Good.
As you move into the passageway, a dim electric glow streams out, and you start to take in everything inside the room. Cables weave haphazardly across the floor, the ceiling, the walls, and hang through the air. There's a substantial hum emanating from computers and machineries that line the space. In the center of the room, dominating it, is an immense, round plastiglass chamber. A darkly lit liquid swirls slowly in a circle. Pawns, as you look over this place, you begin to have an odd sensation, as if you've been here before.
No!
If this room was well managed, and if the chamber was much smaller, it'd look exactly like Narian's lab.
Oh no.
As that realization dawns, you begin to see what seems like flaws in the design, but no, they're deliberate changes. A perversion of the science your original spent a lifetime refining. A small glimmer catches your eye under the mass of cables. You move it aside, and you find etched into the ground a spell circle with scrawling glyphs encircling the chamber. As a dark shape moves into view inside the swirling, viscous liquid, the silhouette of a small creature being dragged around inside, tail streaming behind a Ysoki.
No!
You look closer and see that there is not one, but two creatures being pulled through the water by a small series of tubes. The last of Scriff's family are inside.
Fuck you! Scriff runs up to the chamber and, starts banging on it. Twisitch! Feather! Can you hear me? We have to get them out of there!
You guys could either give me a mysticism or engineering check to figure out what's going on here. Pawns, you have a +4 to your mysticism because you have seen this technology before.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's a 30 from Scriff.
17 mysticism.
22 mysticism.
All right.
Engineering, if it matters.
29.
29.
Oh, with +4, 33.
Nice.
All right. God. You can see that back around behind this chamber is a ladder that leads up to the top. There's a massive opening that you can undo. And Pawns, you know that at least as far as this circle on the ground is concerned, it's doing something to whatever is inside this chamber.
Yeah, normally this whole process would be to clone, but there's some sort of arcana involved in this. We need to drain the fluid or try some other way to get them out. I'm going to try to scratch the circle off the ground.
Okay.
Use,
is that what we're doing?
Is there any kind of a control panel or anything around?
Yeah, there are computers lining the walls, and as I mentioned, Scriff, there seems to be hatches up top that you could potentially pull them out from. But yeah, you can run to the computers and start messing with those if you want to. Whoever does that, give me a computers check.
When we saw them swimming by, they still looked like themselves?
I don't like that smile.
Check.
Yeah.
I don't like that smile. Adam, you better not do anything. If you do anything to harm Feather,
that's a 20
I will take it
perception.
Out on you.
20 perception. So Pawns, using that mysticism check, you go and you start scratching out parts of the runes. It was a really good check. So as far as you can tell, you're breaking this circle.
Oh god.
Soul, as you look in, you move your moat close up to this plastic glass so it shines in on the darkness so you can see a little better what's going on. And you see one of them move by. You can see they're a little bit bigger, a little bit older. They seem like they're about the same age as maybe Beta was when you met her. And you can see half of their face around their forehead has been turned crimson red. Parts of their hair have been turned this orange shock, and you see a red horn sticking out from it and curling up towards the hair.
What is this stuff?
As the second one goes by, you see for the most part they look what you would assume a Ysoki to look like, until you realize that they also have the discolored fur, and their tail goes down into a pointed red barb.
Oh my god.
So, Adam, I gotta get this. instead of cloning, he's using it to almost reconfigure their current state?
I think he's,
or
like,
does it
splicing
seem
them.
like... Yeah, is he taking two... and
It
putting them
seems to
together?
be whatever is being done with this chamber and those runes seems to be putting his DNA into the things that are in the vat.
Oh my god.
Scriff?
Hey.
Scriff,
What?
they've been changed. I don't...
No. No. They're fine. They're fine.
They're fine, but I need you to be aware they might not look entirely like themselves when they come out.
It's gonna be fine. We just need to get them out of there.
How can I help?
So what are our, what kind of roles do you need, Adam? You said computers?
If you want to go to computers and start messing with controls, you can. Or you can climb up on top and try to open the chamber's roof manually.
I will go to the computer.
Okay.
Could someone get up to the chamber?
Yeah, if
I'm gonna try something.
I'll climb to the top.
Okay.
And Adam, I want to try to link with the Nerian,
Ooh.
if that's possible, since I have basically nothing else left.
Okay.
I've done
Smart.
it poorly twice before.
Also, I called it. This
You
guy
did.
was in cahoots with pawns.
There is
Well, with
something
Pons-
going on.
Pond
You
Senior.
do not know
Yeah.
everything that's happening in that situation, but you are close enough to get yourself a popsicle.
Hey.
Wow.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me a mysticism check, Pawns, as you try to reach across space to connect with Nerians.
All right. Yeah, that was not a very good roll. That was a 2 on the dice for a 16.
Oof.
I got a natural 19 for a 34 on the computer's check.
Ooh.
Pawns, maybe it's because you just went through this horrible battle, but you feel too weak to even reach out past this room, much less across space.
Okay.
Scriff, you go to the computers and you see that it is a bunch of complicated programs moving in tandem, and you're seeing what looks like code that's been injected into what looked like a very nice code before. Now there's slapdash code put in that, probably by this tiefling. Hard to say on that. But what are you trying to do in this computer?
Well, I mean, the first thing I need to do is assess what this computer is doing and what my options are from this console.
Absolutely.
But the ultimate goal is to get them out of there and stop or reverse any process that I can.
Okay. So from what code you're seeing and the information you have had from talking to Pawns, there is something happening in which it's trying to clone. It's trying to create a clone. But usually you don't start with subjects in the liquid when you're doing that. So instead, it seems to be putting another type of DNA and combining it almost as if to turn one body into another and clone that way. Why you would bother doing that as opposed to just fully growing one is a different matter.
This might be the same process that they used on Mirani to cause them to transform.
It seems like he's attempted a couple different methods, as we saw. Oh, you weren't in that room. There was some sort of chanting ritual without computers happening below to one of your other siblings. They're fine now. They were fine. This will be fine as well.
So reassuring.
I'm not very good at this comforting thing.
The other thing is it does have controls for like shutting it down. It does have controls for opening the chamber. There's basic controls along those lines.
Okay, nothing for like
Reverse the process.
cancel, undo.
Undo. Control Z.
Control Z.
Yeah, so my fear is if we just get them out and they're already deformed, like what then? Compared to what you just asked there, Jeff, is could I figure out from the circle a way to draw it? Or could like we use Scriff's DNA and try to reconfigure the parts that have been morphed? Like that's
The
pretty
first thing might be to
extreme.
see if they come out with their wits all intact, though.
That would be
Yeah, so the
it
first
just-
thing I'm going to do is see if I can I cancel this process without any like lasting effects. Like can I cancel it without harming them? And then secondly, I want to download everything, all of the code that is in this computer, so that I can review it with pawns and everyone else later to work on undoing it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, in answer to what you were saying, Cooper, and what you were saying, Jeff, it does seem like you're going to need to take time to figure out 100% what's going on, 100% how we can change it, and how to proceed with that. So that will take time. Sadly, there is no undo button.
Okay.
But you can, as far as you can tell with these computers, you can shut this thing down. It doesn't seem like it has any immediate adverse effects to do so.
Okay, I do that. I hit the button to stop the process as it is, and so we can get them out of there.
Okay. You see them slowly come to a halt and sway gently in the water.
They don't seem conscious, right?
No.
The program is stopped. We just need to get them out.
What happens if we get them out? Is this thing keeping them alive? I don't know how this works.
It doesn't appear to. It looks like it was just actively transforming them, but it seems safe to pull them out. Unfortunately, I don't have any information here on how to undo what was already done. We're going to have to investigate that later. I'm going to take all this code. We'll take as much material as we can. Pawns, I'm hoping that your knowledge here with cloning will be useful to reverse this process, but that, I think, is going to take time.
Did I get any pictures of what books were in that other room, Adam?
The idea you get from the type of books that were there, they seem like they've been there quite a while, so it may have just been books that Myroni's family had beforehand that were just left there.
Cloning for dummies.
They have the entire collection of Encyclopedia Britannica.
They are old money, then.
Man. Sprang for all the volumes.
I think if given enough rest, or maybe if we can search around for a little bit longer, we might be able to figure something out. But I've never seen it being used in this sort of manner. So I have a couple ideas, but I'm kind of out of resources. Just gonna take some time.
Well, I'm up top. If you want to open the hatches, I can pass it. Para, could you help?
Of course.
You guys go over to the hatches. They just have those submarine wheels that you turn and pull the hatch open. You reach down into this liquid, which is more viscous than you like. Grab these Ysoki and start pulling them up out of the chamber. As you pull them up, they have this little strap vest on that's connecting cables to them, and they break free as you pull them out, and you have retrieved the last of Scriff's family.
Hey.
Huzzah.
Scriff runs over. Twisitch! Feather, can you hear me? It's Scriff.
So you look down at the two Ysoki, Feather being the youngest, Twisitch Jr. being one of the oldest, and he's the one who has the horn and the patch of skin going over their face.
Right.
And as you look down, Twisitch Jr.'s eyes open, and you see one of them begin to glow with this red hue. And in Twisitch's voice, you hear, "Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing y'all again real soon."
Oh my god!
Oh, God.
What?
No!
God.
And the red fades away,
No!
and Twisitch's head falls unconscious.
Let's keep him that way.
Oh my god.
Man.
We can't get rid of this guy!
That was, who was holding Twisitch at the time?
Let's say that was... I'm gonna flip for it, because we didn't specify.
Yeah, I'm like...
I think Scriff would naturally go towards Feather, being the
Sure.
youngest.
Okay, so Para was the one who had pulled out Twisitch, and it was Sol who had pulled out Feather.
So after Twisitch says that, which is mildly terrifying, I think Para nearly drops them at that point.
If Sol were holding him, he would have been dropped.
Yeah. And they look at Scriff and say, "Scriff, did you see that?"
Yes. That's troubling. We need to get them back to normal as quickly as possible. I don't relish the idea that the Grim Dervish, as he is so named, could possibly take over their bodies.
I'm going to be honest, I don't like problems I can't stab.
Give me a raw intelligence check, everyone who's in there.
Raw intelligence.
Raw intelligence.
Raw intelligence. Let's go. Let's not go with a 14. Okay.
That
Anyone has a
8?
is an 11.
Come on, Scriff.
I have a +4 to intelligence, and I got an
It's okay.
8.
Scriff's upset. They're upset. Their family's
this is
all
fair for
jacked up.
Scriff. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's a natural 20 for Pons, and he's gonna say,
Oh,
we have a
thank
Great,
dice
great,
gods.
thank God.
That's an automatic success, isn't it? Right? Oh my god. Anyways.
23 total.
Shush
And I was gonna say, if we have a broom, we could try to beat the devil out of him.
That's where you went.
Nat 20.
Maybe some leeches while we're at it.
Just start spraying holy water on him.
Let's just feed them a bunch of cocaine.
Rebalance
I'll
the
be fine.
flavors. Yeah, there you go.
Your mind being more focused on what's going on with the cloning technology that's in this room more than the emotional impact of what's happening to Scriff and his family. What you get from this is putting the information that you have about the tiefling that you saw out there, the fact that they were so massive but still seemed exactly like the tiefling. It seems like the one that was out there was probably a large, very large creature put into this chamber and changed into the likeness of the Grim Dervish.
So who knows how long this thing's been hopping bodies?
That explains why he's big. Oh, that's good.
It's real good.
God
That's
dang
real
it.
good.
That's good. Yeah.
And who knows how many bodies he has?
Yeah, take a bow at him.
Yeah, this guy's, he's not a, well,
So now
He's
we have to
definitely-
find what body is his real body so that we can stop him from corpse hopping.
It seems that whichever body he is in takes on tiefling traits. So just watch out for tieflings. Doesn't sound right either.
Fight all
Back to the
tieflings.
racism. Back to the racism. Here we go.
One eyebrow lift.
We went 20 minutes.
Already problematic.
Wow.
20.
I don't think it's all tieflings. I think it's more like he's infusing a part of himself into them and is able to access it that way.
he might be some sort of spiritual or, I don't know, devilish being that can just fuse with others more than he is an actual physical entity.
Oh, I hope he has a real body. I would like to stab him.
Theoretically, you could stab him in multiple bodies.
Yes, but I'd like to stab him in the one that matters.
Good point.
Adam, how big was the tiefling when I met him in the past?
So they seem like they were relatively 5 feet smaller than this version that you had met here.
So I don't even know if I met the original body. Like, it was probably just another copy.
It very well could have been. You don't know how long this cloning, quote marks, process has been going.
So now we have another problem, because these two siblings may be our only way to trace back to the original.
Do I know anything about the Grand Dervish? Have I heard of
Go
this?
ahead and give me a roll. See, you have, I know, profession. That would be in the right vein for that. But it would also take culture. You've been around space a while.
That's a 9, so no.
Oh,
Only whispers in the dark.
give it some time. It'll come to you. We've got time on our hands at this particular point.
Well, now that we have a name, it'll be easier to search on the HoloNet.
We also have a number of dead and unconscious individuals that we should perhaps leave this depressing place with.
Yeah, this is my worry right now, is we have all the equipment to possibly do something about this at hand, but obviously we have a lot of people to tend to as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should be splitting the party or staying here or just claiming this planet and then leaving for now.
I was gonna say we can at least set up a base in the ship and not leave, but and technically we do own the planet because Myrani.
Yeah, it's ours now.
Yeah, technically Marani's on our side now. So, we have a safe spot.
Kind of.
That's to be determined.
Give me 10 minutes
but-
with the child.
I'm thinking that maybe we should try and dismantle this lab and rebuild it on the second hand.
Oh, goodness.
It would take up the entirety of your cargo bay.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
It would, but it would be a super helpful resource, I feel like.
Just throw it in the null space chamber.
With the changes that have been made to this thing, theoretically, you guys could use it to revitalize wounds even.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a very useful resource.
We have a new use station.
Wait, it's literally a hyperbolic time chamber?
It's a cloning station. We can like die and then just be revived inside.
No, I'm only thinking in Dragon Ball Z terms. How do I get buffed?
I don't think it's currently set up for that. But what I do actually have, Adam, is some of that flesh from the, what was it, orc?
From the troll that you guys
From the
had.
troll. I still have some flesh from him too, which might be interesting to play around with.
Actually, is there any way... what about Sorkus? Like, if this is some kind of like a cloning chamber, a healing chamber, we do have him there. It could maybe do for him.
What about Brandon?
What about Brandon?
We shouldn't meddle with that.
What about Brandon? Yeah.
Sorkus
We should bring back Brandon. We should go get Brandon.
Brandon!
Throw me in the tank. Throw me in the tank.
See what happens.
He's gonna just have another version of him, but also be dead.
If we put Sorkus and Brandon in the tank, can we get like a Brandonized Sorkus?
A Swarkus who hits on everyone. Physically and metaphorically.
Vesk.
Cowboy. Oh my God. Cowboy Vesk is something I never knew I needed.
I mean, regardless of anything else, the tank is here. This is Maroni's home, and I guess technically 5e now.
We could use a home
throw
base.
one thing out to make sure that it is not forgotten, is that Narian's condition has been rapidly deteriorating. You got a message about that when you were on Adscar's end.
We also have a thing to deliver to.
Yeah,
We have a thing we need to open and then decide if we're going to deliver.
Oh, did I not clarify? The second we got on the ship, I opened that.
No one ever said anything, so it's not canon until
I
you
thought
guys
that was
open it.
implied.
Yeah, and I think we just waited
I'm pretty
around.
sure Soul spent like half the trip just like sitting cross-legged in front of it, just like staring at it.
Absolutely. You guys have been going back and forth like, we should open it. No, we shouldn't open it. We should open it.
Oh, I've been voting open it from the moment we met that woman.
Absolutely, we're opening it. It's not staying sealed. It's getting opened.
Okay. In directions to my home planet, where's that package supposed to be delivered? Like opposite
That goes to
direction?
Vesk 2?
It's a space above Vesk 2 that you guys were meeting, and then the planet that Narians is on is in the Pact Worlds, which is an adjacent system.
Okay. It wouldn't be too difficult to get there.
Right.
Yeah, I initially was going to ask if maybe this was about the time we need to go and check on him. Those clues leading up even further into that kind of
But he has,
solidifies my position on it. But
if he has working tanks or non-tampered with tanks,
maybe we can take them there.
We need that information on how to reverse this process, and Nerians is going to have that knowledge.
Yep.
can we get the house's VI to like hire a cleaning crew, because this place needs some work. Like, it's gaudy enough to start with, and now it's just...
We're gonna reprogram it.
Yeah, I think we should leave it, disassemble it like you said, and then erase all the data other than the copy you have, Jeff, so no one else can use this thing.
The AI?
The computer system. We should erase that, destroy the magic circle, and then disassemble as much of this thing as we can, but just leave it.
I think we should bring it with us, because like, if we're gonna bring all the Yosoki with us, it would be helpful to have that on the ship in case we want to try and reverse that process.
I suppose the first thing is, like, can we even take it apart without?
I'm saying if we go to Nerians, we might be able to just do that there if we have the data.
But if we bring it with us too, then Nerians could inspect the copy that we have.
You're assuming that
know the differences.
Nerian is going to be...
That's true. Take a photo.
I am, but you know, like,
here's what it looks
it's
like.
better than not having it at all, right?
Well, I'm just saying that from what we heard, Nerian is degrading rapidly, so there's a very good chance he might not be much help.
I wonder if there's a new Nerian clone besides Pawns.
The one who got finished cloning?
Did you not get finished? Wait a second. We've been walking around with an incomplete Nerian?
No, the grim Nerians. Oh, no.
Maybe.
So as you guys are discussing what the plan is, what are we gonna do next? 5e. From beneath you, the level below perhaps, this screeching boom sound happens as this wave of energy passes through the entire house. Everyone in the back chamber feels it. You see the whole glass chamber resonate with the energy of this thing. And then with agonizing suddenness, a jet engine screams to life. And there's the sound of crashing metal and stone from below you. An engine fan, you hear it spins off wildly, and you hear it smash into the wall down below.
Crap. Can I link with the ship and make sure that wasn't damaged in whatever just crashed here?
Absolutely.
Sorkas is trying to drive while blind.
That's what it is.
I was going to say, it's one of the sibs at the wheel.
That's in the blood.
As this crashing, smashing sound happens below, you pull up your radio, you contact the ship and ask if the ship is doing anything, if it's secure or not. Everything's fine on board here.
Well, that's good at least.
Gives us a thumbs up.
I am calming the others in the back and saying,
I assume everyone felt that.
It would be hard to miss.
Yeah. What's going on over there?
Castle shook.
Seems like even Pawns noticed.
It sounds like an impact, possibly a spacecraft that's crashed here. It's not safe. We need to get out of this structure.
Okay, I guess we're just taking the things that we've taken so far. Does anyone have a grenade or something?
No, I do not.
Brandon has
Not
more
at
grenades
present.
on his
Does he?
Yeah, he does. He has a few more
I
grenades.
picked Brandon up and some grenades fall out.
To go investigate what has happened.
Yeah, I mean, this is a window, right? We can see our window?
so 5e is going to run out and survey what has happened because he doesn't want to take Marani out of this room until he knows that there's a clear path back to the ship.
Yes. So Sol is going to look at Scriff, be like, perhaps you'd like to take her?
Yeah, Scriff will take her.
Sol immediately grabs the moat, sword comes out, defying gravity, sprinting after 5e.
Okay.
Okay, so you head out of this room, the doors no longer being locked, imagine that. And you head over to the staircase and start moving your way down. You can see that the fountain in the main room is entirely destroyed. Metal fragments of what looks like ship parts lay scattered about. Parts of the rug have caught on fire, and smoke is beginning to plume in the room.
The tragic part of this is that neither Sol nor 5e know what a problem that fountain was, so they don't know to celebrate its destruction.
In the midst of this unexpected chaos, right near that destroyed fountain, lies a figure. Battered and scraped, they groan and sit up. As they do, they stretch out a brilliant set of black wings.
Oh man, oh no, what? Not now. It happened again? What? This figure turns around and meets eyes with both Sol and 5e, and then just says, wait, who the hell are you guys?
And we'll see you in the next chapter!
So do you look like a human with black wings?
Is it bat?
We'll have to wait and see.
When life drains you down, charge up on the Emergency Power Network. Theme song Triangles by Diamond Ace. Find them at bandcamp.com. Music provided by Nicholas Judy of Dark Fantasy Studio at darkfantasystudio.com and Tabletop Audio. Find them at tabletopaudio.com. As well as Carl Casey of White Bat Audio. Find them at whitebataudio.com. Font Azonics by Mixo. Find them on Twitter at MixoFX. The Starfinder role-playing game, including its official lore and images, are the intellectual property of Paizo Incorporated. All rights reserved. Narrated by Danny Lee Collins.